Hey folks, welcome to the Sports Scientist Podcast. My co-host Dr. James Hoffman is dead.
Yes.
Hey folks, welcome to the Sports Scientist Podcast. I'm yelling, but I'm also Dr. Mike Israel, sports scientist.
You have a microphone in front of you.
What?
You have a microphone in front of you. You don't have to yell.
I'm not sure who this man is. Just kidding. It's Marcos Rodriguez, my co-host. Dr. James Hoffman, as you may have already been informed, is out of town. So, we've replaced him with a much cooler person. Maya, Camille Winters. Maya, tell the folks listening a little bit about who you are.
Former national strongman champion for North American Strongman. I did that for about 3 years. Dabbled in powerlifting for maybe a year and a half or so. Competed at nationals. Did okay. Competed at the Arnold in that. And that was about the duration of my strength career. Prior to that, played a lot of rugby. 13 years of it. Used to be an art professor. Yeah.
Did you say used to be an art professor?
Yes.
How many people can say that?
I don't know.
How many people in
they
strength
should feel
sports
very lucky. In strength sports, not too many.
Could we probably accurately call you the strongest art professor of all time? You mean, get the fuck out of my way, Van Gogh, you little bitch.
Right, yeah.
Get out of here, Van Gogh. Maya,
look at you. You're pathetic. You don't even lift.
Your paintbrush is so big. Wow.
Yeah, he did cut off his own ear or whatever, right? Van Gogh?
Yes.
To prove his love for what I believe was a sex worker.
It happens.
Yeah, when you're into, that's like full time into art. When you're into art to the level of like you're committed to the shit. Life is art. You know what I'm saying, Marcos? I wonder, Marcos, do you think Van Gogh? Well, they didn't have that shit back. No, I guess maybe they did. Van Gogh on mushrooms, making art.
That would explain a lot.
Yeah. Did you guys? Who was it? Salvador Dali, the clock guy.
Yes.
Melting clock in the desert. See it all the time.
So, my friend, our friend Chris told me this. So Salvador Dali's modern, right? It's modern, relatively 60s, 70s, right? Okay. So they asked him, because, you know, the melting clock shit is like psychedelic as fuck. Like, this is as psychedelic as it gets. So they asked Salvador Dali, somebody asked him, like, so, like, do you do drugs? And he goes, I am drugs.
Oh.
And it was the most sense anyone's ever made. I was
He's on 10 grams as we speak.
All the time. He was born on 10 grams of mushrooms. Anyway, Maya, thank you so much for coming on here. And we posted on the world's most fluid social media platform, Instagram.
MySpace.
Are you still on MySpace?
No, bro.
Maya, let's forget all the bullshit. Let's get to the important questions. Okay. Did you ever have a MySpace account?
I had MySpace. I had Friendster.
You had Friendster? Mm-hmm. Are you the only person that ever had a Friendster?
No, that's where I met my girlfriend of 40.
What?
Friendster, yeah.
This is amazing. What was it even like? I
just remember the background being orange and white. Very sterile looking site.
Well, it's like a Burger King.
So, yeah, it was probably Burger King I met her at. So one of the two.
That's, wow, that's a trip. Friendster, damn. Marcos,
Mejente.com, I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, I'm on, I tried JDate. I'm just kidding. I never tried JDate.
What's JDate?
It's Jewish date.
Oh, we have Black People Meet.
For real?
Mm-hmm. .com.
It's not .net.
Don't get lost.
Don't get lost.
We have Seatown and Associated Supermarkets. Yes, I don't know.
I was actually recently informed that Cardi B, we all know who that is, was worked at one of those local supermarkets in what's that called? Washington Heights, right?
My peoples.
And her manager fired her for doing an insufficiently good job and recommended during the firing process that she look into alternative career path. What he recommended was stripping.
That worked out well for her.
That's an interesting conversation to have with your boss. Is like, hey, listen, you're definitely good at some things. It's just nothing intellectual or where you work with other objects.
I wouldn't be surprised if that guy was like her uncle or her dad. Just Dominican upbringing. It's like, you suck at packing bags. How about you just get up and leave?
You're going to do some shit. Well, somewhere. All right. Instagram. gave us a whole bunch of questions for Maya. And let's get to them. Just to make sure we got the intro rounded out. Highly competitive strength athlete. Longtime rugby athlete. And professor of art.
Professor of art and contemporary artist. I had a pretty extensive exhibition history of my paintings. And I'm currently a mechanical engineering student.
Jesus Louises.
Okay, Superwoman.
So I need to get it together.
For real.
That's what that all boils down to.
You're not joking, are you?
I'm not.
Okay. Do you understand that when you have like 10 successful careers, you by definition have it together?
Okay.
Yeah. You've had it together in like numerous phases of your life already.
Right,
it's the opposite of getting it together.
All right.
Cardi B, prior to her success, needed to get it together. When you get fired from the grocery store and your only alternative is stripping, get it together is a fine, valid critique. For you, Maya, I don't think that applies. Marcos, you've had a couple of exhibitions of your art, correct?
At the grocery store that my dad owned, yeah.
Excellent. What is your favorite medium?
I never got fired.
That's good. What's
Just setting up the plantains in a certain array where it looks like the melting clock.
Damn. People come in and they don't know if they want bananas or they're like, I think I'm losing my mind.
They're $5 for $1 on Sunday, but you know what? I don't want to mess that up, so it's
true.
I'll leave it as is.
Awesome. I'm trying to relate to you on the art thing.
Okay.
I can draw a motherfucking stick figure like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
His circles suck.
Circles are hard. I have no idea how
They look like hot dogs and stuff.
Artists do circles. I'm into that shape generally, the hot dog shape. It's a nice shape. I like to see it. I might like to touch it.
Okay, good. So,
first question. All right. So Maya, superwoman, Renaissance woman, extraordinaire. Let's get to these questions because there's some important shit here. Reading Instagram names is hard. Relitz95 says, what's your traditional barbell / strength training to strongman event ratio? This motherfucker talking about ratios up front. Okay, Euclid.
Thanks, Pythagoras.
Right. Generally when I was prepping for a competition, it would look something like maybe 4 days a week of strength work, some strongman movements peppered in, like your upper body day, your pressing day, you're going to put in some log work, as well as some benching. But, I always had a strictly strongman day. So it was always event training, on one of those days. The intensity of that, it varied obviously where it was situated in the cycle. But, so it looked more like 4 days a week. You're doing your, traditional strength work and you had an event training day.
So 5 total days of training.
Yes.
Was the event day usually like a weekend day?
Yes. Usually Saturday morning. Very religiously. Nice.
Mm-hmm. What beats you up more, event training or conventional barbell training?
Event training. Very much. You have a 600-pound yoke on your back. You're trying to move as fast as you can. You have a few runs of that. Even if it's just a 450-pound yoke run, it's just you're trying to move with that. So it's not just, So it's not just...
Don't let it happen again.
I know. I just want to punch the hell out of this thing for some reason.
I hate the yoke.
All riled up here. I can't stand myself. But yeah, so that's very taxing on the body. The grip, the grip element of it, obviously is...
Did you ever rip your calluses off?
I did rip them off. I did.
Damn. During the event or during a period of self-hatred in your life that you don't want to recall?
Oh, the latter. Yes.
Excellent. We'll get into recalling that very soon. So, okay, cool. So as far as ratios, you sort of mostly did barbell strength work and then peppered in the strongman stuff.
Throughout the week, yes. I always had to work a lot extra with the log press. So I would do that twice a week.
Why do you say you had to work extra with log press?
Overhead strength. And I'm not quite sure why, if it was something mechanical, but I always had to work hard to do that even moderately well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marcos, being that you've never been good at strongman, what do you think your weakness would be if you were a strongman competitor?
Shit. I'd be good at the carrying stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd be great at it.
Wow.
Is that from the Washington Heights upbringing where you carry shit back and forth to the
Actually,
bodega?
that's how I got these traps, man. Everyone always asks me. It's like child slavery in a grocery store. You're like 5 years old. You're picking up 2 boxes of plantains or milk cartons in the morning.
Uncompensated labor is the shit.
Look at these traps. Zero shrugs.
Pretty sweet.
I love strongman training though. I remember as a kid, that was like one of the oddest things you could watch on ESPN. Kaz, Marius, what's the other guy?
John Paul Sigurdsson.
All the Benedicts.
Magnus Samuelsson.
Magnus Magnuson. Yes. God, man, that stuff
Jill
was so
Mills.
awesome.
Oh,
we
my
wanted
sweet.
Becca Swanson, all those
Lord.
women.
Well, who's your favorite strongman of all time?
Strong man and strong woman. Hit us with whichever one you want first.
Honestly, the person that stands out in my mind from watching them, I always watch it with my dad. Jill Mills, though, she was my coach for a good while.
Oh, that's awesome.
But Jill Mills, just a very dynamic athlete,
She was on top of her game for a very long time.
I think if she still competed, she could give a lot of them a run for their money.
For sure.
Whoa, that's awesome.
AKA beat the living daylights out of them.
Damn.
So,
Okay.
yeah, a lot of respect for her.
I don't know who my favorite strongman was because there's a lot of different personalities and stuff. I mean, clearly, like, you have to pay respect to, like, Big Z. He's the strongest human being that's ever lived. And then his personality is the shit because they're like, Kazmaier would be like, Big Z, you just won the world's strongest man. How do you feel? And they're like, yes, I feel feeling good. And the event was not very hard. And now I am champion again for 18th trillion time. It feels good. And you're like, that's how you sound? And then Magnus for Magnusson would always have these, like, because he's literally a Viking, would always have these pronouncements. Like, every time he talked about if he was going to win or not, I felt like he was standing on, like the bow of a fucking ship, looking into the mist and, like, hearing dragons and, like, unsheathing his sword.
With his trident or battle axe, like,
100%.
ready to go.
His was like, Magnus, how do you feel about the upcoming battle for first place? Like, well, there's got to be a lot of luck in it, but I'm feeling pretty good, so we'll see what happens. And I'm like,
at the height of the sun, I will leave the moon.
There's going to be lots of death and blood. And you're like, what? Wait, hold up. What did I make this up? Oh, stones. Yeah, he's right. Super. All right. Ooh, very related question.
Okay.
Number 2. Dr. Pat Davidson. Is he really a doctor?
He is.
Yeah.
Daddy Bones, that's my boy.
Damn.
He's he used to be a teacher, professor over at Springfield College as well.
Oh, cool. I know a lot of people from
He's smarter than you, Mike.
count him in among the 7 other billion people on this earth.
You're right.
So he says, Maya is one of the most intense competitors I've ever watched. I've watched her so much, you have no idea. She's on loop on my TV. I think he's watching us now. Maya is one of the most intense competitors I've ever watched, and seeing her in person is beyond savage. Where does the intensity come from?
Oh, gosh. Does he really want to answer this?
Mm-hmm.
I believe the answer is yes, Maya.
Oh, boy.
Don't scare Scott the camera guy.
I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, I was doubted a lot athletically. Like, I loved playing sports.
Doubted by who?
My friends. But, I was extremely...
You had friends?
Well, I don't know if they were my friends, but they let me mess around with them sometimes.
Oh my God. Don't swear on the show. You can't fucking swear.
No cussing.
Don't cuss. You can swear all you want.
Okay.
Unless you're trying to project an image of yourself, all intellectual and shit. I think we got that covered in the intro. So anyway.
But yeah, kids tease me.
Alleged friends. Supposed friends.
Children within my close proximity.
Excellent.
They tease me because I keep on the punches thing because I was chubby and they said I couldn't do things, so I wanted to hurt them. So we played a lot of football. I laid them out, and that was just sort of how the strong thing was. I was like, I can overpower these kids. I'm going to use this. So I, in sports, being doubted, I guess that kind of always has motivated me, until I started lifting.
Nobody's talking shit now, huh?
No. Well, they still talk shit, but they've never won anything.
Okay.
Damn, that's what's up.
And I'm not, numbers wise, I'm I'm modest. It is what it is. There are people who are stronger, obviously, but it's what I've executed.
Put up or shut up.
Yeah, man.
On the day of the event. That's really sweet. I think that a lot of people who are super motivated in strength sports or combat sports were either bullied as children or made to feel mildly inferior or on the chubbier side and stuff like that.
Yes.
That
and there's
makes 3 of
heavier
us.
stuff, but
like what's your drive? What's your motivation? Let's say at your most intense Atlas Stone event, like what's going through your mind? Like when I'm lifting, I've never competed in anything as amazing as that.
Lifting is sexual for you, right?
That too, mostly sexual. But seriously, like I do it. I think of, the times that I got bullied or
Right.
It's a lot of time.
that is a lot of times.
Yesterday. I took this
morning.
motherfucker's lunch money, but give me that shit.
No, but seriously, and I think about the people that believe in me, and I use that as my motivation, or
Nobody.
Sure.
my training partners that, I inspire them and they inspire me, whatever it may be. That's my drive. What's your drive? Like your go-to,
In the moment.
I got to get this shit now.
Very good. Okay. My nephew, he was born at like 2.5 pounds, and around the time where I actually started competing very, very, very high level, he was born, and it was just like, that was the thing that every single time could kind of, and it may sound a little silly, but one of my cats, Gypsy, some people who have seen me compete, they would hear me yell Gypsy really loud. They're like, what's that mean? It's like, don't you worry about it. It's my cat's name. That's what the fuck Gypsy is. But that's, my cats and my nephew. I know. I sound like,
No, it's not silly.
but
I think everybody has their thing, and that's pretty awesome.
Do you think if we, you have another cat named Wormwood, correct?
Yes.
Do you think if we artificially ascended Wormwood to sentience and human intelligence, and he watched your old strongman clips, he'd be like, hey, Mom, why aren't you yelling my name? That'd be an awkward conversation, wouldn't it?
He's a stronger cat.
So he'd be like, Gypsy needs it.
She needs it, yeah. I don't know.
That's good.
Sorry, Gypsy.
But
thank you.
One good way that I like to relate to pets is think about what the conversation you'd have with them if they were ascended to human intelligence, like tomorrow. Because if you could have a good conversation with them, then you're treating them well. But if not, because like if Maggie, our dog at home, if we ascended her tomorrow, she'd be like, yo, Charlie, why you yell at me so much? And he'd be like, it'd be awkward. But then she'd be like, hey, Mike, I love you.
Me good.
Like, Maggie, girl. People sometimes ask me, like, what goes through my mind in jiu-jitsu competition? And it's kind of trippy. All the way up until, like, 30 seconds before, I'm actually really nervous. And I just think I'm going to lose. And then I do this thing where I start talking to myself in Russian 30 seconds before. Oh, wow. And for some reason, there's some fucking ancestral bullshit. Like, anytime I hear Russian, I'm like, fuck and kill. All I want to do is murder people. I basically tell myself, like, this pussy motherfucker's in the wrong mat. It's the wrong day for this guy. I hate him. It's fucked up, right?
Right. No, it's...
But then right after I'm done, it's a spirit of competition. It's all nice.
You're like, hey, man, good job, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Comrade, good work.
I thought you'd be stronger. All right. Strength to Spare.
Joshua Peters
says... Mr. Marcosis, so cool. Just make fun of me. No questions as of now.
What is his name?
Strength to Spare.
Joshua Peters.
You know him?
He's an artist. Yeah, he's a buddy of mine.
Oh, artist.
No,
he probably sucks.
No, he's actually great.
So he probably can't
draw. As much as I hate to admit, he's a painter. You'd like his work. It's awesome. But he's also an Olympic weightlifter. Pretty good at that. Older guy. From Hawaii. Sort of looks like Logic.
What the fuck does Logic look like?
It's that biracial dude that looks pretty white with glasses.
What?
He's a singer, rapper, performer, entertainer. I don't know what you call these people nowadays. It's like Cardi B.
Right. Artist.
Oh,
right.
Cardi.
Maya, what do you think about Cardi B? Why don't you just... we can't dance around this too long.
You know what? Sex work is rough. You know, she's
I don't think she did sex work, Maya. I think she was a stripper.
It's a form of sex work.
You won't get an argument out of us.
Hashtag I'm with her.
That's right.
But that's rough. I'm just glad she came up, man, because that's a really hard way to live.
How you know?
I just can imagine being up there shaking around every night and not being in the mood. Can you imagine? Like sometimes you're not even in the mood to wear a dress, a skirt, put on some
100%.
lipstick, but then you got to shake your parts.
Time out. Have you ever been to a strongman competition that you haven't felt like being up there?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
See, perspective.
That's a little harder than stripping, though.
Yeah.
Like you can just dance around whatever, but like there's this fucking yoke staring you down, and you're like, fuck. Yeah, no, I feel that about sex work in general. As like, it's not all pretty women all the time and shit. Richard Gere's ass has been missing in action for a long time. Marcus, have you ever seen that movie? You're looking at me like a fucking deer in headlights.
White woman.
I was just wondering what happened to the gerbil with Richard Gere.
Did the gerbil die? Have you heard about that?
No. Oh no. What did he do?
Scott, you look like you know some shit.
Scott
doesn't know shit. Marcos, what was the gerbil thing with Richard Gere?
I don't know. People are into weird stuff like, you and your dog Maggie and peanut butter. And Richard Gere was like
Respect.
playing with a gerbil somewhere on the backside, apparently.
Oh my God.
Maya, think about that.
You just let it run in
I want you
there.
to let that get in your head. I want you to think about it.
That can't. I hope that's not real.
No, because
I don't know. This
So
is
the
the
technicalities of this, I've heard
It's the internet.
that what you do is you put them in the freezer for a bit, and they get into like senescence, basically, where they sort of fall half asleep, and then you jam them up into the prostate area, and then they begin to wake, and they have the little paws, and you go like this, and they start to scratch
And
around.
then Sarah McLachlan comes running in the door. I will.
Yeah,
That's a good
I
commercial.
hope.
I hope the gerbil makes
Jesus.
it. That's an awful
it's
way
terrible.
to die. In Richard Gere's asshole. Although of all the assholes, listen. I'm about as straight as an arrow here. You know what I mean?
Clearly.
But Richard Gere is a fucking good-looking man.
Really?
Nah.
What, Maya? What? Watch your mouth. What, Mark?
I'm with Maya on this one. Sorry,
No,
buddy.
false. Well, you're both wrong. Scott, the sound guy.
You got to Google
You don't have
pictures
that
of
in
Richard
memory?
Gere. Seriously,
You
man.
don't have them saved
In your
not
brain.
your background.
That's true. Richard Gere is phenomenal looking. Also, when George Clooney does that little smile like thing that he does, a little shy guy smile, I'm always like, what?
I don't know that.
I mean, maybe because you're so manly, you like the more like beta male-ish looking kind of soft guy.
Yo,
The
George Clooney's
pristine,
no beta man.
like you love Pierce Brosnan. I can tell. I'm more of a
Pierce
Sean
Brosnan's
Connery guy.
a really good looking guy. I can't get down with Sean Connery. I have no idea how women find him attractive at all.
Mr. Universe,
Bloom,
bro?
Orlando Bloom.
Really? Chris Hemsworth.
I don't know. He's too muscular.
Exactly. You like those softer guys that you get like
I'd cross the
rear
line.
naked choke.
I would explore my sexuality with Orlando Bloom. But I'd be like, you have to put this outfit on. You're Legolas from Lord of the Rings, motherfucker.
and you're dressed up as Gimli.
Right? He's like, that just doesn't feel right. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Scott is in the corner dressed up as Gandalf.
I think it was the Luscious Locks that did it.
Richard
that's a
Gere.
young picture of
Oh,
him.
he's a young looking. I like the older Richard Gere when he's all a businessman and shit and Pretty Woman. Maya, you remember Pretty Woman? The movie?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Is that where everyone learned how to use their cutlery properly? Because
I'm pretty.
yeah,
Yes.
Oh wow!
me too.
Look at him now. He looks like a melting candle.
Okay, Scott, let's find really old pictures of Richard Gere where he's a fucking dying old man. Go to hell. All right, that's just rude. Okay, back to some training shit.
Oh, right.
Where
we
were
were for a
here.
second.
C Devil C Devil 1 says, what type of training that is not specifically strongman exercises do you do?
I mean, I do CrossFit for some conditioning. It's fun. Oddly enough, I went to CrossFit Regionals in 2014 with the team.
Cool.
Yeah, they just needed somebody to pick up some heavy things quite a few times.
This is like Maya's whole shtick. She like does incredible, accomplished shit. Just goes, yeah, I kind of like have all these things, but whatever.
And then I go,
Yeah, why? Come on, you've got to be proud of yourself.
Be proud
You're
of
the
it.
champion.
Show it to us. Come on. Show us your proudness.
Come on. So that's awesome. And then you do, but also like you do a lot of barbell work.
I do a lot of, and I've been, training with you obviously lately. A lot of barbell work, basic powerlifting movements, bodybuilding movements. I do some Olympic lifting, but I admittedly avoid snatching.
Avoid the snatch.
Snatching.
Oh, I see. Okay, we got to be
So-
particular there.
Wait, I want
Marcus
to
got
piggyback
offended.
off that. What's your favorite strongman lift?
Oh, I love, I really like the farmer's carry.
Me too. I love
Yeah.
that stuff. Favorite bodybuilding lift?
I would have to say,
Curls, right? I know.
That means she doesn't.
yeah,
have one.
honestly, it's
For real? Yes. Yes. Come on, Dylan. Don't you love them? Look
You
at
guys
them.
are-
It's not a tumor.
Wussy ass motherfuckers.
I mean, if my biceps were as ugly as yours, I would say something else.
Marcos, not all of us have bicep genetics.
Look at my Smith machine squat, guys. Look at my quad.
I like my quads.
Favorite powerlifting lift, Maya?
deadlift.
Yes,
Awesome.
awesome.
At the deadlift.
Favorite Olympic lift?
I like clean, like the full clean, not power cleans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Favorite yoga move?
Oh, now you in our world, girl. She doesn't know any yoga moves.
I do.
Shit, okay.
Trikonasana, tree pose. I dated a yoga instructor for a long time.
Okay.
That's what's
All
up.
right. Okay.
I guess it was up.
Get your mobility up.
I don't know. But no, I like, I don't like child's pose. I'm really bad at that.
My parole officer said I
Warrior
can't
pose.
use the children in the context of anything I say.
You better. So yeah, warrior. What is it when your arms are straight up? One? No, one's with your arms up front. Warrior 2.
Don't look at me. Look at Marcos. He's the
I do that stuff sometimes. I'm open-minded, honest, and
Marcos, have you ever actually been to a yoga class, or do you just stare through the window?
No,
in
I've
a
been a
trench
shit
coat?
ton to yoga.
No shit.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
go
favorite?
with I go with my girl like once a month.
Wow, it's so often. Wow.
That's more often than you go.
I have been to one yoga class ever. I was told my performance was. There you go. There you are. You're doing yoga. Oh, C-Devil had a multi-part question.
Okay.
How do you train around injuries?
Overloaded partial movements is what I would do.
So avoid whatever hurts.
Yeah, avoid whatever hurts.
What's the worst injury you ever had? Strongman training?
Honestly, none.
Wow. It's called
Superwoman over here.
elite genetics, folks.
No, I don't.
Maya, can you give us a list of things you're not really good at?
I'm not good at tolerating a lot of bullshit,
That's why you're on the podcast.
and I'm moderately impatient. So, not.
Marcos, what are you bad at?
Everything.
Okay, that was depressing. Straight to the point. All right, part 3. What diet mentality do you have, Maya? Is it more is better? Like more diet? But like food, I guess. How do you relate
More
to
food?
food?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I try to eat as healthy as possible because, you don't want stuff to get out of hand. And
You've been a lot bigger, huh?
I've been a lot bigger.
How big were you?
240.
Holy shit,
At the
that's
most.
awesome.
No, it didn't. Well, I mean, it didn't actually feel horrible.
That's great. And have you ever seen Lord of the Rings? Sauron, remember he was like, he had the ring on his shit and he was
Yes.
swatting motherfuckers away?
Yes.
Was that you at 240? You're like, "Ugh."
Yeah. Pretty much.
Sweet.
Lots of swatting.
Lots of swatting. Did you just naturally kind of work up to 240 just eating whatever? Or was it a concerted effort? Did you try to get to
I have
240?
no idea. I mean, my family, like my dad, he's in his mid-60s, but he's like 6'4", 280, 280, but he's not a hot mess. Like he swims every day. He's a solid guy.
Damn.
Built like his mother. So everybody's built like that. Stereotypical Polynesian stature. We're not Polynesian, but that's just an example of how
You're Polynesian?
very thick. No. But people always associate like thick,
Sure.
large people.
Just gigantic.
So then it was, I was a shot putter. Wasn't too much into running around or anything like that. So I got that big.
You were strong as fuck, probably, huh?
I was pretty strong. Yeah.
What time in your life was this? This was
I was
college,
young.
or-
I was a kid. I was, it was like end of high school.
Okay.
And then I lost, like 30 pounds and I started playing rugby. Ran around at like 210 playing rugby.
Fuck.
Yeah. But relatively mobile, not flying around too much, but
hitting people.
yeah.
Do you like hitting people?
Oh yes, that was my favorite part of rugby. Everyone will say that executing the plays and making things look pretty. I like laying people out. It felt good. I miss that a lot. I do.
Be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfuckers are fragile. People say shit like camaraderie in the team.
No.
I was like, fuck the team. I was trying to hit my own team.
No, mostly when I played rugby, it was like, Maya, calm down.
The Punisher.
And if they listen to this, they can't deny that. They'll know that.
Damn, that's sweet. Okay. Kamaru says, so Maya, as a woman lifting weights, especially at such a high level, I can imagine there were a lot of negative Nancys. Quote, women should not lift weight, it's too manly, etc., etc. Was it hard to deal with people like that when you first started out, and did it ever improve?
No, I never really dealt with that because I trained at Iron Sport.
Damn.
Do you even lift?
Yeah, they were all really supportive there. Everybody was supportive.
Yeah, if you're at Iron Sport, you're there to lift heavy weights and nobody gives a
Yeah.
shit about anything else, I guess, huh?
Yeah, and no one said anything anywhere else. It was never really, I didn't have that issue.
So basically nobody ever talks shit to your face.
No, any issues of like odd sexism were like within the sport, like recognition wise, receiving different levels of attainment, like, for men and women. Like, there's always a difference. Like, that, the sexism was there.
Sure.
It wasn't on the streets. Oh, man, you live. What's wrong with you?
And nothing from family? Because, like, a lot of times family will say the harshest shit, you know? Like,
Nope.
yeah, you're wasting your life with this late weightlifting. Anyways, that's my Jewish family. What are you doing with the power building, with the body lifting? Your family was supportive?
Yeah, they know I'm going to do what I want anyway. So
they kind of figured that out after, like, what? When did your family first figure out that you were, like, going to do your own shit one way or another? Age 10?
5.
Really early. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what particular event it might have been, but I was very adamant at doing what I chose to do. 5. It might have been 5.
Holy shit. Damn. People say shit like you just said, like, oh, I was always like really solid. People kind of knew that I was going to do my own thing. I don't know where the fuck I stand on that spectrum. I was always a little bitch.
No.
Yeah. For a long time.
I could see that.
Marcos, you can relate. You still a bitch.
That's not what your mama said.
Girl.
She didn't say that.
Hold my headphones, Maya. We're about to make this some Jerry Springer shit. You didn't. Not a lot of shit on the street or people you knew, like.
No.
What about Manly? You ever been called Manly before?
Yes. Well, it was by students that I taught, actually.
Art students?
No, I taught at
like they're not qualified to speak on the matter.
No, oh gosh, we'll leave them alone.
Okay.
I was at a high school for students. They had already been kicked out of other schools in the school district.
High quality individuals.
So they were coming in ready for. I mean, I could have. I don't know.
What were you teaching?
Art.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Art, remedial art.
Art for the recovered. I don't know.
Troubled students.
Way to cut yourself off there. I could say a lot more
for the hard to teach students.
Yeah, people struggling
who just needed mentors and guidance.
Yeah, yes. So they got you. And so what was the context of the manliness comments there?
Oh, I wore a skirt one day. I'm like, oh, you look like a pit bull in a skirt. And I was like, I do?
You look like a motherfucker with a broken jaw. He's like, what do you mean? Bow!
Damn, Teach, you jacked.
Your mouth looks red. It does?
What? I don't get it. Your mouth looks red,
buddy.
Oh, yeah, sweet. I'm all about hitting students.
No!
Well, they're high school kids. Got to learn some way.
Yeah.
If you're zigging and zagging into the wrong fucking remedial high school, somebody's going to have to beat your ass one of these days. It might as well be your art teacher. You come home, your dad's like, what happened? Did you win that fight? You're like, yeah, I'm going to go to my room. What happened? My art teacher beat me up. She was a pit bull in a skirt, though. I
got to bring her my ear tomorrow.
Yeah. Dad comes up, Maya beats his ass too. That'd be so sweet. Let's get one more question going.
Okay. Jake
Bennett 93.
Okay.
You know this man.
I don't know Jake.
Okay. Solid name.
Methods for alleviating spinal fatigue at near peak training levels.
You manage your training loads. Like, there was never a point where my coaches were like, do a 600-pound yoke every single week. It's just like the same way that you would manage your recovery for heavy squats, heavy deadlift. But that's, very good question.
That actually was a lot of wisdom, because I think this is something like Dr. James Hoffman and I have been preaching with, like MRV and all that shit, recovery, is I think a lot of people will do dumb shit and they'll be like, okay, how do I recover from this dumb shit? Well, number one is don't do dumb shit. Like, if you're doing too much yoke, there's really nothing that's going to save you after you do too much yoke walk and all this other shit. It's about making sure that you do the appropriate dose and then getting sleep. And sleep is actually really good, because sleep is two-factor. One, it recovers you generally, and two, it actually decompresses the spine. Did you know that you're taller when you wake up?
Yoga.
Okay, here we go. Let's hear.
Show me your child's pose, Mike. Come on, get up on the table and child's pose for me.
That would be obscenely sexual and
relax. Breathe into it, man.
Make me look really bad at yoga.
Ow, Marcus, this hurts.
Reach for that camera. Reach.
Folks, here's what we're going to do. We got so many more questions for Maya. We're going to ask her back for another episode. In the meantime, I want you to do some self-work. Sit down after this. Think about your life. Am I doing the right things? Am I going in the right directions with my karmic energy? Marcos, can you give us a little karmic boost before we end the episode?
Namaste.
Thank you. Maya, thank you so much for coming on our show. Namaste.
Open up those knees, though.
Ow.
Yeah. Come on, man. Relax. Breathe into it, man. Open up your chakras.
That's what he said.
Arms straight in front of you. Reach.
Ow, Marcus, this hurts. Fuck
Reach for
this.
that camera. Reach.